Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going down to XRP once again. Thank you for support. Okay, big the CoinsKid crew. So the structural loss recently, I think a couple of days ago, we've seen that pullback on XRP, and we've lost a little bit of structure right there. So I'll go through exactly what that is, and that for me has changed the game a little bit here for XRP. I still think we're caught in the correction, a series of free wave corrections, possibly some kind of WXY, where we see a series of free wave corrections basically. So I'll go through that with you, and I do have a little bid zone that I'll relay to you on XRP, but I do think there's some kind of rally coming in this crypto market, okay, and possibly a rally that makes new all-time highs, if not some kind of retracement, and it will give the game away going forward. So there's a little bit of good news I'm going to show you in a moment, but you know, I'm looking at the index just here on the macro signal. We did have a buy warning kicking in for Ethereum the other day, so I have actually accumulated some Ethereum at these lows. If we take a look at the weekly time frame for Ethereum, you can clearly see we're coming down into this buy zone here. You see this God candle back test from October 2023. What we did here for Ethereum, we broke out to the upside, and we've never back tested that breakout, and that's exactly where we find a little bit of support right now. So I've jumped into some positions in Ethereum, but it doesn't guarantee that that's the bottom. And again, if we start to go lower, you can clearly see there's a little bit of a buy zone just there as well for Ethereum, okay, roughly 13.39. Okay, so I do think the bottom's around here somewhere, because if you take a look for Ethereum, these lows on the RSI, look at that, that was a beautiful opportunity, and right now we're really close to that particular opportunity, where every time we come down into this zone, if you take a look to the left just there, this was a buy zone in 2018. If we look to the bottom right there in the RSI, you was really oversold as well. So I do think if we start to see Ethereum becoming extremely oversold on a weekly, I think it's an opportunity against the herd mentality and all the naysayers right there. So you know, I've accumulated some Ethereum at these lows. This is what I'm trying to convey to you. Now another coin right now that's flashing a buy signal on the macro here for you know, the index right now in crypto is a coin called Ton. Okay, now I've never bought this before, I'll be honest with you. I've never looked at this, never bought it. It just came from nowhere, it just appeared. You know, I've never really looked at it, but right now if we take a look on the weekly time frame, it's doing something that, you know, technically I always buy this if I see this. So this is why I'm buying this right now, because if we drop a horizontal level of resistance in just there, you can clearly see on this particular chart we've got a beautiful ascending triangle. Resistance, support, second resistance, high level support, broke out on a third point resistance, and this has had a whopping huge move to the upside. And look at that, some kind of A, B, C back into this buy zone, okay? And like I've always taught you, you know, resistance becomes support, and this is exactly what this is right now. An ascending triangle, resistance, breakout, A, B, C back, lovely support on this neckline of support. And where is the RSI on the weekly time frame? Oversold. So I've bought some of this, okay. Ton, you can get this on Bybit, BitGet, it's entirely up to you. It's a highly traded coin, a lot of volume on it, and again, I've only took a small position, not going to my life savings, but you know, I'm always trying to find opportunity. I'm right back, slam back into the resistance and support zone. I'm really oversold on the weekly, so I'm taking a little bit of opportunity here, and this is what I do. You know, if I spot these little opportunities, I will relay them to you, and I'll take these opportunities, and this is how I've made so much money in this crypto space, buying the blood, fear and depression against herd mentality. So right now, there was a warning way back when in November last year. One of the reasons I converted my Bitcoin into XRP at the time against all the naysayers was because of a trigger point, and I'll show you exactly what that is in the video today. And a lot of people at the time said you're an idiot, you're naysaying, and even now they're saying Bitcoin's better than XRP and things like that. But you know, if I look at that time frame when I swapped my Bitcoin into XRP was trading around about 60 cents and Bitcoin was trading around about 85k. Bitcoin is now 82k and XRP is $2.20. So it was still remains pure data. It was an amazing trade against all the naysayers, and I've still not exited that position right there. So let me show you on the retail top why I traded my Bitcoin for XRP, okay? So the CoinsKid retail top is a really simple indicator to use, and it's part of confluence analysis at that particular time frame on November the 12th, 2024. I relayed to you with the confluence of XRP getting its ass back up with a 20-week EMA, and equally the green buy dot on the CoinsKid ribbon right now on the daily time frame. Wow, we've got an opportunity here. I see a vertical in XRP. You know, and at this point I think Bitcoin's run out of steam. You know, it's probably given us all it's going to give. You know, possibly if it goes to 120, 150, whatever, whoopie do. You know, I think XRP is the player, and this is why I converted my Bitcoin into XRP. And wow, what an amazing trade! Because on that time frame, you know, Bitcoin was trading 85k, XRP was trading around 60 cents or something. And you know, even now, you know, what an amazing trade. You know, although we've gone through this horrible correction, it's nasty and things like that, that still is a real fantastic money making trade for myself and the CoinsKid crew. So these times will come again, so stay tuned. But you know, this simple indicator, it represents done money. Okay, so here done money doesn't want to know, and then it starts to show up, and then literally in a month you get dumped on. And like I relayed to you at the time, please be careful here. If you're buying here, you're doing it wrong. You know, basically you should have been buying the blood, fear and depression, but if you're buying here, you're doing it wrong. And typically within a month we do start to see some kind of correction kick in the market. So this is confluence my analysis as well. Like literally a month later we began a correction right there for Bitcoin and XRP. I actually think this high that Bitcoin's experienced in January and XRP is part of the correction. It's called an expanded flat B wave correction. You clearly see is a done money approached again. What's happened? Boom, dump. If we move to the left, it's a very good indicator because you can clearly see, I think it was March and April last year, as we started to push down, done money began to show up in droves. You know, what happened was, as we got close to this red dotted sell line, you know, we got to trigger point 4, and what happened literally a few weeks later, big macro correction, wasn't it? You know, sideways, boring correction for crypto, XRP, Bitcoin, so on and so forth, that just lasted, I think, roughly, for XRP, it was roughly March to, I think it was July, wasn't it? So it's quite a long time, many months right there. And if we go to the left, this is the concerning thing that I see so far. Now, at this time frame here, we've actually pierced the red dotted sell line. So technically, if I was just to respect this data, okay, we've hit a bear market at this particular time frame. Okay, this is it. You know, you've come down, retail shown up, the dumb money's here, that's it, dumped on, big crash correction for a year, see you later, buy back at the bottom. Okay, so if I'm just respecting that data, then that's the point I'm going to relay. But I think there's a little bit of conflicting data in things I'm seeing right now. I'm going to show you exactly what it is. That potentially XRP is not put in a fifth wave, and we may have a clue to that fifth wave where we start to come back up over the next few months against all, you know, the herd mentality and the naysayers will come back up, but we'll see this trigger again. And when we see that again, that will be the get out of crypto card right there. Get out of XRP and run for the hills, basically. So that's what I'm looking for, because in 2021, if we move to the left, in April, we triggered it, which triggered a big macro correction for the crypto markets. But then Bitcoin, towards the end of the year, came back up in a two-part top, basically. So we may see the same again. So this triggered in October, and literally a month later, Bitcoin entered that macro correction that lasted for around a year. So I think there's a chance here that this has been a warning, okay, a big warning to the retail and the dumb money, you know, that, okay, we're getting pretty toppy in this market right now. Think about your positions. So we've been buying crypto for many years, Bitcoin, XRP, so on and so forth. But I think the next time, if we do start to see a major push up over the next few months, you know, some kind of vertical in that last fifth wave right there for XRP, then we'll look at the retail top. If it triggers once more, you know, within a month or whatever, it's your get out crypto card, and that's it. I can't see it triggering any more than twice in this cycle, okay, because it did it in 2021 before huge macro corrections. So I'm just respecting the data right now. So in theory, I should just respect the data and say, right, from here, a month later, run for the hills, sell everything, get out, you know. But personally, I'm holding on because of something I've seen in another indicator I create for the CoinsKid crew. It's called the crystal ball. Yesterday, it did something which is incredibly bullish if we are respecting that data point, okay? So in this time frame, I'm looking for a double tap of this red sell zone in this cycle, okay, on the retail top. If it doesn't happen, I'm sorry, but that's what happened in 2021, and I'm anticipating it happening again here. So let me dive into the crystal ball indicator right now on the XRP chart for yourselves, okay? So this is a king of the charts. I want to show you this quickly before I do dive into the XRP chart. It's the S&P 500. I've been looking at this for many years, a confluence to my analysis of whether or not XRP was entering a bull market or a bear market, whatever, you know, upside and downside, because I look at this particular chart as confluence my analysis. Now, one key thing I'm looking at right now, if we start to print bearish market structure in this chart, you know, we're bearish on XRP, okay, because this is the king of the charts. So you can clearly see, in my opinion, we've got a double top drop here, and what we've not done, we've not back tested this level of support as resistance so far. So, you know, we've not even seen any kind of significant retracement in this particular chart so far to warrant the calling of a bear market. And what I'm looking for is basically this structure here, where we break down, retrace, break down again, retrace, and then, you know, you drop, and you're starting to create that bearish, you know, lower highs, lower lows structure right there, which we just don't see at the moment. For me at the moment, with XRP, Bitcoin, many altcoins, and obviously XRP, we've got this high in December, we've got this expanded fat correction within, you know, the S&P 500 within itself that occurred way back there in December. So I actually think there's a chance here. This is just a simple ABC zigzag, just like the 9% drawdown there. We've got a 9% drawdown there. We've got an 11% drawdown there. We've got a 9% drawdown there, and around about 8 there. You know, this was not the start of a bear market, okay? And these are the things I relayed to you along the way, because because technically this break here in January of 2023 was the reason why I flipped incredibly bullish on XRP, looking at impulsive wave 1 into a 2 into a 3, which is what I think we now find ourselves in, missing a final fifth wave. So obviously I'm looking for the invalidation of that, and I think one of the earliest clues will be the S&P 500 breaking down. If we start to see bearish market structure from this point, you lose a ribbon, you come up, you make your lower high and start to do something like that, then yes, this is coming down and XRP is coming down with it. There's no question of that, okay, in my opinion, because this was the clue in January of 2023 right there that XRP was incredibly bullish. And this is something I relayed to you, because at that break point just there, breakout back test, I said to you I'm looking for a run to the 1.618 at least, and it will drag XRP and Bitcoin with it, and it's done exactly that. So obviously if it starts to come down, it's going to drag XRP and Bitcoin with it as well. There's no decoupling from that, really is simple, okay? And this is the king of the risk. This is, you know, the major chart that I look at. So confluence in my analysis is the S&P 500. So let's say, for example, you know, XRP's entered the bear market in December, and so is Bitcoin. You know, you're coming down the stairs and a whopping retracement. If that's the case, then this is coming down the stairs. My buyback zone on this particular target would be 4818, and it's simply a retest of the swing high, and it could do it over the next few months leading to the end of the year right there, where again it starts to turn around. So it's possible, it is possible. I can't take it off the table, but for me to say to you right now, okay, this is it, it's cooked, it's coming down the stairs, you know, without any more data points, I'd be kind of talking out my bumhole. I need to see the structure to project down. Do you understand? And this is something I look for. So I think there's a chance with an indicator I've created for yourselves that we may see some kind of V-shaped recovery here, where we start to come up, retrace, back test, make high highs and high low structure after a simple zigzag correction, and then we head towards a 2 fib at roughly 6634 in the charts for the S&P 500. And at that point, I do think that could be the trigger point for a final fifth wave for XRP and Bitcoin, and then some kind of big macro correction, you know, occurs at that particular time frame. So we'll keep an eye on it. This is the king of the charts. This is the king of risk. Okay, this gives us all the clues to the future of crypto. So there is equally something I've created called the crystal ball, which is based on M2 global liquidity, that equally gives us a clue to the crypto future. So let's dive into the charts right now on XRP. So look at XRP on the daily time frame. These wave fours are very complex, and you know, they're very sort of annoying, you know, basically, and we've been through many of these before. For example, you know, this wave 2 was really annoying, wasn't it? It lasted for ages. The bottom of the wave 2, it was roughly, let me get that knob on for you. So from the July high of 2023, this came all the way down, and it was a whopping 59% correction, and it took 359 days, you know, from literally July 2023 to July 2024. It took a whole, look at that, a whole year basically. Horrible zigzaggy, overlapping, nasty correction. At times made you feel like, you know, XRP had entered some kind of bear market. And this is exactly what's going on right now. I think that, you know, this complexity of this correction, you know, the overlapping zigzaggy waves is exactly that. Because if you take a look at this correction right now, initially what you see is some kind of rug pull, okay, then a retracement, then another rug pull. And we've not necessarily seen that. And, you know, it's quite quickly and it's quite sharp that it actually happens. If you are at the end of an impulse, okay, you do start to see a quick rug pull of roughly 53%. You come back up and then you got another rug pull, 66%, and you're doing it literally in 38 days, which is a month, you know. So that's the top of an impulse to me. Look, 1 2 3 4 5, top of an impulse, ABC coming back down, another ABC coming back up, and then you roll into the C wave, which is just an A B C zigzag, a macro correction. But usually, typically, you know, at the top of an impulse, you do rug relatively quickly. All that happened in roughly a month, okay. So from, I think it was April 2021, XRP had come down 60% in roughly a month, you know. Rug pull, retracement, rug pull. You know, and right now, if we take a look for XRP, this is why, with a confluence of what I see at the top of impulses, we don't necessarily see that. And this is exactly what we saw in this impulse as well. So if I go through this with you, and I hope you understand what I'm talking about, we've got a 1 into a 2, into a 3, into a 4, into a final fifth wave, and look at the rug pull that happened really, really quickly. Okay, so this was part of a bigger expanded flat correction, okay, a zigzag correction, which is basically a flag, okay. But the clue to that was the quick rug pull, and at the end of an impulse, so 1 2 3 4 5, rug pull. Within a matter of days, XRP had crashed from this high all the way down, another 54%. But it did it in, if let's take a look at this, so it did it in roughly, what is that, 36 days, so within a month. Okay, so if we go from here, right now, okay, from this high, which I think is the high, I think this is an expanded flat correction. We go from here. Currently, XRP is down 25%. You know, and if you'd have seen the rug pull, which is always indicated at the top of an impulse, you would be down here somewhere. So I don't necessarily think this is the top of an impulse. I think the top of the impulse is coming, and I've shown a confluence to that. And one of the key things I'm looking at is obviously the S&P 500 and some kind of bearish market structure, and Bitcoin as well. But equally in the double tap on the retail top that comes up here somewhere, and equally in the CoinsKid crystal ball, okay, which is an indicator I'm about to drop into the charts. So in actual fact, there may be a little bit of confluence in the fact that from this low here, we had a whopping first impulsive move, which was 75%. And I remember relaying this to the CoinsKid crew at the time, okay? I was showing you why I actually think that that is the bottom, because we've seen a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this first move of a big powerful third wave is massive, and no one's looking at this because, you know, down here we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was the first wave of 1, okay? This is the first wave of 3. So within this wave here, because we've not seen this sharp rug pull, which comes to the end of every single impulse of a 5-wave move to the upside, I actually think that all of this is still corrective since December. So this is zigzaggy, zigzaggy, zigzaggy. But what we've done this week, by losing this low, we've took out the truncation that I've spoken about. So we could be in a final move to the downside here. So I'm going to go through with you as best as I can. I don't necessarily think we're looking at something like this for XRP, but I think we could see a little flush of this low potentially and get some bids on this zone here. So look at XRP on the 4-hourly time frame. Sometimes you've got to zoom in. Now what we've got right now, and something we can't get confident about the bottom being in, is something that we don't necessarily see in the charts, and this is something I'm relaying to you. You know, we could call that the bottom, that the bottom, this the bottom, whatever, you know, but one thing we've got to see to increase the probability of the bottom is 5 waves up from which you've come, and we just don't see it at the moment. So just here we've got a 3-wave move up, 3-wave move up, and right now we're just going to be impatient. If this is the bottom right now, this wick low yesterday, which lost this validation of a truncation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you've come up in 3 waves, and right now you've come down in 3 waves. So right now, if this is the bottom of the correction, we need to see something like this for XRP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've got a chance right there that that's an impulsive wave, and then we'll ride the ABC coming back down. We'll bid in these zones here and put a stop loss with confidence on that bottom, because you've seen a 5-wave move up, and this is just not what we see yet. So this is why I'm not degenning into my big macro long position, because if you take a look way back down here at the bottom of this crash and correction, we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, which I've shown you before obviously, and then boom, you know, you got your big macro correction that follows, you bid, stop loss low, boom, you ride in a little move out of there with an increased probability of not being stopped out. So at the moment, you know, until we start to see 5 waves to the upside from these wick lows, there's always a chance we are still caught in this complex correction. So until that day comes, we've just got to be careful for that big macro long position, and there is all the chance that, you know, we could still be caught in a big complex A, B, C wave correction here, some kind of 3-wave down, 3-wave up, 3-wave down like this, that sweeps this low, and this is part of the big, horrible, nasty zigzag correction which, you know, these waves fours can be. So you basically a 3-wave down, 3-wave up, and this may be a bigger C wave that's coming down the stairs like this into this potential liquidity zone around about $1.64, which would be absolutely amazing. So obviously I can't tell you it's going to do that 100% certainty, but what I'm looking at, if we flip out to the daily time frame and we drop the CoinsKid crystal ball in, one thing that's happened yesterday, we've actually took out here, okay, we've actually made an all-time high in the crystal ball, so the liquidity is breaking out. So if you take a look, it looks as though we've got a final flush like this, okay, possibly next weekend, and then we start to V-shape if we are tracking this to the absolute dime. So just be careful until we start to see 5 waves up from the pivot low from which we've come. You know, there's all the possibility we are still caught in this complex correction here for XRP. So we've just got to be careful with that big macro long position. This is something I'm trying to relay to you. But in time, I will trade that. Once I see 5 waves up, we'll trade the 3 waves back, jump in as we have before, minimal stop loss, and boom, we ride that bad boy out of there. And this particular indicator, the golden line, which is your CoinsKid crystal ball, could be an indication right now that we have got this V shape and this vertical in front of us, and a final 5th wave which is missing for XRP to the upside. Okay, hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care everyone. Back to an update on XRP. Bye bye.